On our visit to Ganden Monastery, a sacred site high in the mountains, about 40 kilometers from Lhasa, we felt the full impact of Tibet's destruction during the Chinese invasion and later during the Cultural Revolution. With very few exceptions, all the buildings in this complex were destroyed. Ganden is located on a spectacular site, and the impact of its beauty, followed by seeing the tragic extent of its destruction, was jarring.
In 1959, the Chinese invaded Tibet and annexed it as part of China. There's a lot of politics associated with that. The Chinese always felt that Tibet was part of their country. And in the mountains of Tibet is also a lot of uranium. So they had some good motives. We visited many monasteries, and this photo shows a lot of the destruction. More than 6,000 monasteries were destroyed, and the people in the countryside are farmers. They farm and they herd yaks, and on their weekends or time off they work on restoring their monasteries. Of course, all the beautiful paintings that are hundreds and perhaps 1,000 years old are destroyed.
Despite this, there were numerous chapels and sanctuaries with paintings and sculptures which had been restored. Here we spent time with young monks whose open, innocent beauty impressed us, as it did in all the encounters with young monks and nuns. Their boundless curiosity and cheerfulness was uplifting.
Right at the front of this festival parade is a picture of Chairman Mao. And in order for the Tibetan people to have their traditional festival, it was a harvest festival, they had to parade with their Chinese occupiers' photo.
Compassion, why should we develop the compassion? Compassion is most powerful human mind who can teach you the happiness. You know, once you develop the pure compassion in the base of understanding the reality of our nature, like say you, all my human beings, including my friends and all this universe, human beings in this world, have the same equality to experience happiness. They don't want suffering. And that basis, if you see, we say from the loving eyes, every person from the loving eyes, equal, you love so much for someone. On that basis, if you see everyone, then many problems can solve.
The Potala Palace towers over the city. It is built on Mapori, or Red Mountain. Potala means Buddha's mountain. It was built as a main palace for the Dalai Lama. Built of wood, earth, and stone, the Potala has 13 stories and over 1,000 rooms, 10,000 shrines, and some 200,000 statues. Construction was begun in 1645. At present, much of it is being restored.
Lhasa is almost 17,000 feet high. When you fly into Lhasa, you fly over the Himalayan mountains and you see snow-capped mountains piercing the clouds. And this is a gray day in Lhasa, and this is the Potala Palace, the home of the Dalai Lama. Not only the current Dalai Lama, but generations and generations of them. It's really quite a spectacular sight. These are portable shrines, little altars from Tibet that I brought back. They're sterling silver. There's an image of Buddha, and because the Tibetans are nomadic, they take these with them, they cover them up, put them over their shoulder and under their arm, and away they go. And this one has 3 images of Buddha. Buddha of the past, Buddha of the future, and the current Buddha. And on it are all the auspicious symbols, the Tibetan auspicious symbols.
So, Reader's Theater, curriculum-based Reader's Theater, takes real-life experiences and we put the words to it and the thoughts to it. We brainstorm and then create a production.
They're getting information from their teacher, and then I'm coming in and I'm talking again about the monks. And then when they go see the monks and they see the mandala, not only are they going to have merely a cognitive understanding of what's happening, but they're going to have literally a somatic, a visceral understanding of what's happening, because I have moved them through that process experientially. I'm bringing some glue. If you need glue. Now, here are the rules. You can add to the pieces that you took apart yesterday. How might you add? Sancha, she decided to draw. You have pens, you have pencils. There's all kinds of things that, so look at what you have and think about how you can recreate adding to it with just what's there. Look at the possibilities. You have 5 minutes.
The Buddha says, compassion, and the great compassion is the source of all the happiness, and confusion and ignorance, all these are source of all the sufferings. So our message is generate the compassion and look your mind and try to purify or transform your negative thoughts into positive thoughts.
When Brian shredded his, he turned to me and he said, look, my name survived. And he chose, as you can see, to make that sort of a foundation for his mandala.
I kind of learned that even if you destroy something, something better may most of the time always come and fill that place.
Anything can be rebuilt, but it might not be rebuilt at the same way it came.
Even when what you started out with is just a soggy mess of glue, you can actually make something sort of pretty out of it eventually.
So, using that as a metaphor, what connections do you make between a first draft, let's say, that you may not like very much, but you're asked to rewrite it, to re-envision it, to reimagine it, to transform it, to rebirth it? What does that look like now when you're dealing not with visual materials, but with the material of language arts?
What am I looking for when I'm looking, when I look at your rewrites?
Changes.
Changes. How so?
To better it.
To better. And what are ways you can better your writing based on what you've done here the last 3 days?
This is a ram's head, and it has all little skulls embedded into it, but this is a real ram's head, and you can see the skull coming out of the jaw part of the skull coming out. This is from Tibet. The Buddhists believe in reincarnation, and so death is just a part of the journey. And when you are not reincarnated, then you've attained enlightenment. You are truly the awakened one. And just like the sky burial, the photo of the Tibetan monk, death is not to be afraid of. It's just along the path, along the journey.
Although the trip is ended, the learning continues. Tibetan iconography is complex and the imagery diverse. The symbolic language is rich and extensive. My interest in this unique culture has grown as a result of this trip. I have seen the threat of its extinction. In the face of this, the Tibetan people exhibit strength, a resilient spirit, and boundless faith. I have questioned an expansive materialistic system and its impact on a culture held together by spirit alone. I have been deeply moved by all that I have seen. It has in great measure altered my view of the world. I am grateful to the Dodge Foundation for making this meaningful experience possible. These are the images that will remain with me always. Glimpsing Everest, white on white, mountains matching clouds, speeding by sheep herders, tents, nomad children, women and men doing their daily chores. Light changing, colors of mountains changing. Some have stripes. Yaks grazing, goats huddling together. Passing tractors pulling wagon loads, some packed with people, others with goods. Patches of bright yellow rapeseed vibrating in a sea of green. The sun is sharp and white.